Hey guys, what's up? So in today's video, I want to cover Virgin Galactic. Now, they've given a lot of news updates over this past week, and I've gone through all of their SEC filings, their Twitter updates, Instagram updates, and all through the internet to get as much information as I could. And they're finally being very transparent. Now, I know in the past, investors have been getting frustrated because there's been lots of delays, and this October 22nd flight that was supposed to take place, Virgin Galactic kept on saying it was going to happen later this fall, which is just not very clear to investors, and this caused a lot of frustration. But finally, they're being very clear to us, and I found a lot of additional information in their recent SEC filing that is really good information that I think a lot of you guys probably aren't aware of. So I'm going to be going through all of that with you guys in this video. Okay, so the first thing is just their Twitter update. It says here, rollout of the second spaceship in our fleet is scheduled to take place in the first quarter of 2021. Now this is really good. So basically when they're gonna start doing commercial flights, they're gonna have 2 spaceships ready. And I think it's anticipated that each spaceship can do around 50 to 55 flights a year. So yeah, they may be able to have around 100 flights a year starting in 2021. Of course, they're gonna be starting sometime in the first quarter, so best case scenario, maybe they can get 80 flights next year. Let's hope, as long as things stay on track. But either way, it's really good to see that this second spaceship is coming along nicely, and it's expected to be done before even commercial flights. Next thing, it's obviously really important, is their financial highlights. Now, there's only really 2 things I'm looking through here because they are still pre-revenue, so I really don't care if they're generating 1 million in revenue or 200,000. That doesn't matter, but I want to see how much cash they have remaining on their balance sheet and how much cash they're burning through each quarter. So because they did dilute shareholders by quite a lot in August, we have 742 million on the balance sheet as of September 30th, 2020. And then also in this third quarter, we have a net loss of 77 million compared to 63 million net loss in the second quarter. So this number is going up quite a bit, and it has generally been going up over the last few quarters. This isn't something I love to see, but later in their SEC filings, they do explain why it's costing more and how long they can survive with this 742 million. Okay, so in their recent updates, this is really the big news that's come out. Their next space flight is expected to occur between November 19th and the 23rd. And with that space flight, they will be generating revenue through payloads. This was the space flight that was supposed to occur sometime after October 22nd. And they kept on saying, oh, it's just gonna occur later this fall. And it frustrated a lot of investors. However, now they're being more transparent and they're actually giving us a date here. So now we can kind of hold Virgin Galactic accountable to this. So that is really nice to see. And with this space flight, if everything goes really well, they can possibly get FAA approval, which is the last step to get commercial spaceflight approval and to send Richard Branson to space. And it's no secret, in a lot of my videos, I talk about my short-term predictions and how I plan on investing and trading in Virgin Galactic. And I still do believe that when Richard Branson is scheduled to go to space, we are going to see a lot of share price appreciation, as long as the whole stock market doesn't crash from all of the shenanigans that's been going on in the world. But yeah, world economy aside, as long as everything stays the same in that aspect, I do still expect Virgin Galactic to see a large share appreciation if everything goes as planned here. So down here at the bottom, it says they're retiring the One Small Step program on December 31st of this year. And this was the program that allowed you to spend $1,000 to reserve a seat to go to space with Virgin Galactic. So they're going to be officially closing that, and then I believe they're going to reopen reservations after Richard Branson goes to space. I'm not actually exactly sure why they're doing this. Maybe there's some kind of change to their next reservation process. I don't know if they're upping the price of the tickets or what exactly the deal is. But yeah, anyways, that's interesting and just a little something that's nice to know. Okay, so in this part of the article, they talk about the impact of the health crisis on their business. And this is something that I've been really interested in, and I actually wasn't sure how they were being affected. So I really appreciate the transparency here. So let me go through it for you guys. So the company is continuing to experience ongoing delays to its business and operations due to this health crisis. which has led to accumulated impacts to both schedule and cost efficiencies. So they are admitting here that it is affecting both their schedule and cost efficiencies. Now maybe this is partly why we see rise in cost. Now I don't think it's going from 63 million loss a quarter to 77 million loss a quarter because of this health crisis, but it probably is somewhat impacting them. I know they obviously got to buy a lot more cleaning supplies and fix up their schedules and stuff, so that's affecting them slightly. And then also their scheduling, that is something that concerns me more, is that it's actually affecting their scheduling. And it says down here, the company has implemented strict protocols to ensure employee safety, including enforcing staggered shifts to lower on-site density and reworking communication processes with engineers who are primarily working from home. So out of that, I would say the staggered shifts is probably something that's affecting them and could possibly affecting their scheduling because of that. But again, this is nothing overly concerning. This is very basic effects from the health crisis. This is something that literally every business right now has to adjust to. So I don't think this is going to actually have much of an effect on their business. And they do talk about here how they are still able to meet their schedules and everything. So yeah, I think that the health crisis isn't affecting them to the level where we actually need to be concerned yet. Okay, so now let's get into their SEC filings, and I'm going to show you guys some key points that I have found. So this is a really important one. We believe our cash and cash equivalents on hand as of September 30th and management's operating plan will continue sufficient liquidity to fund our operations for at least the next 12 months from the issuance of these financial statements. If we experience a significant delay due to our workforce getting ill or the pandemic worsens, we may take additional actions such as further reducing costs. So first point out of that, they have enough cash right now to survive the next 12 months. This is important for many reasons. One, it means we're probably not going to experience another big chunk of share dilution. So that's good as investors. We don't really need to be concerned too much about that, because when they do dilute shares, the stock can drop 10% just like that. So that's important to understand, that they are probably going to be able to survive through this pandemic. Depending on how long the pandemic lasts, let's assume it gets better over this next year at least, and they start actually generating money through their commercial space business. And then it talks about how if the pandemic worsens, they may need to take additional actions to further reduce costs. And yes, this is probably something that is realistic and could happen. We're just entering into winter now. We have a long ways to get through until spring and summertime. So that might happen. But again, we've been going through this pandemic for quite a while now. I think there's a lot less unknowns now, and this isn't something to be too worried about. Okay, then another risk that I found that is definitely worth noting here is, in addition to existing travel restrictions, countries may continue to maintain or impose closed borders, impose prolonged quarantines, or further restrict travel. Now, this is actually a risk. This is a general risk that has me not worried, but something I need to be aware of as an investor. And you guys really need to understand what this means for you as the investor. So let me read this next paragraph that ties into that statement. So in this paragraph, it talks about how it has approximately 600 future astronauts. In February 2020, we launched our One Small Step campaign, which allows interested individuals to place a $1,000 refundable registration deposit towards the cost of future tickets. Once we reopened ticket sales as of October 31st, 2020, we had received close to 900 One Small Step deposits from 61 countries. So that's where it ties in, the 61 countries. So they're receiving deposits from people all around the world. So if this pandemic worsens, or if it's prolonged for a further period of time that we don't anticipate, it's possible that they won't actually be able to do as much commercial space flights as we once thought, because a lot of their customers are from different countries that may have their borders closed and they probably can't enter the States, because as of right now, they're just flying out of the States. Virgin Galactic doesn't have spaceports internationally. It's all in United States. So yeah, I could actually see this affecting their business next year. But of course, this is going to depend, out of those 600 astronauts, how many are currently living in the United States? Because of course, those astronauts could still have a commercial space flight. But for all the customers that are not in the United States, this could be a problem. However, I don't think this actually will be a problem through 2021. I could see that starting to be a problem in 2022, just because Virgin Galactic is more supply restraint. they only have 2 spacecrafts, so it's not like they can have a ton of flights anyways. But this is something that you just need to be aware of and could cause future concerns. But I think that we have a pretty good period of time where this won't cause issues, and in my opinion, that would be at least until 2022. And I think that we'll have this pandemic and the border closures figured out by then. And then additionally, some good news here. In this paragraph, it talks about the cost of building spacecrafts. So the very first spacecraft Virgin Galactic built cost about $400 million. And that's because a ton of costs went into research and development because they had to fully design the thing from ground up. But now it's already been designed, they're just replicating each spaceship, so it's a lot lower cost. And currently they have those costs down to between 35 and 55 million. And here it actually talks about how they anticipate it's going to continue to decrease in cost. And this is something I'm really confident in them able to do, and especially because 3D printing technology is becoming very good, where that is going to dramatically lower costs just on that front alone. So that is really good news because Virgin Galactic still has the plan of building 5 spaceships. So yeah, I think we can really expect them to continue to lower cost, and this is going to just help them expand when they eventually get spaceports internationally, and hopefully many more than 5 spacecrafts. This is going to just make it a lot easier on them. Okay guys, so that's all I have for this video. Just some final thoughts here. I think that everything is going really well for Virgin Galactic. I really appreciate their transparency and all these updates. There's really nothing as investors that we should be complaining about right now. It seems like everything is on track, everything's going well, they're cutting costs, they have lots of money in the balance sheet. This should pay off in the long run as long as things continue to go this way. You can be sure if they do release any more updates, I will cover it on this channel. And that's including any bad updates, any good updates. I try to remain very unbiased in my investments. So I'll give you guys my honest opinion on any future updates. But as of right now, this is a really good update. And again, I like the transparency in this update. So yeah, if you guys want to see more Virgin Galactic related content, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I do upload videos every week on Virgin Galactic. And make sure to drop a thumbs up on the video. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm and helps more viewers see this kind of videos. And yeah, thanks for watching until the end of the video. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys in the next video.